say, well, my first story I'd like to do is go to your 5-story building in Santa Monica, and I'd like to see your 5 editing rooms. I'd like to see your audio room. I'd like to see your graphics rooms. I'd like to see how Fox Media decides what is the news. I mean, how do you guys decide the news every day? Do you guys have like a round table, or is it one big guy saying, why are all the medias covering the same stories all the time? Exactly. And they were like, George, you know what? You hit on something really important. I'm like, why? Because that's secret. That stuff is real secret. I'm like, what do you mean secret? And he goes, well, we can give you a tour of the facility, but if you take any camera coverage, we could be fired for that. And I'm like, wow, so you guys want to investigate other people, but you won't open the inner workings of your own media company? And they don't even know, as it goes higher up, it's kind of like the CIA. I mean, they go, we don't even know, George, how it's decided. But at the top level, there's somebody that's saying, we're going to cover this story today. That's what we're going to do. And then they coordinate it with all the others.
And they told you that?
They told me, here's another one thing that they told me that was unbelievable. They said, George, we look for visual, shocking images that don't necessarily have a lot of journalistic content, but are more for shock value.
People will turn to the channel. They'll stop on the channel.
And I go, but that's why you get a dumbed down audience, man. You keep covering car accidents and someone getting shot. I mean, it's day after day. I mean, why don't you guys do more investigative reporting? And they're just like, you know, that doesn't sell. I mean, they're kind of dichotomy. They want to get stuff that gets the most eyeballs on their news, but that degenerates over time.
But George, see, that one thing, I mean, you're really, in this quest for truth, there's people that don't want to know the truth, and there's people that want to know it, and when they start to see how intense it is, then they back off into their comfort zone.
Oh, that's another thing.
Then there's people like you.
Yeah, we take it to the edge.
Yeah.
They go like this. They actually tell me, George, there's some stories that we don't cover.
And George, there's even an edge, and I'm not going to try to be condescending, but I've just been studying this for so long, but there's an edge even further than you know.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I believe it, man.
So I stay away from that edge just to
keep your life.
Right.
Wow. See, that's what you could teach me. You're beyond me just because of your ears.
Yeah, but see, you've like discovered what's going on. You've figured out a lot of stuff, and you know, Rupert Murdoch owned Fox News, right? And I think he bought MySpace.
If you make a list, I did this once, made a list of everything Rupert Murdoch owns, you know, you ask yourself, you're like, what the fuck does this guy not own?
Right,
he owns everything.
That's the guy making the decisions. You know, and so that's why I knew when Ron Paul started running, I knew there's no, because then, you know, there's no way Ron's going to win.
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, MOT, how can you say that? It's like, I already know.
I was naive.
Because I know the agenda. I don't know if you said that, but a lot of people would say that. How can you? And I was glad that he got as much exposure as he wanted. And then Mitt Romney, who was a Mormon guy that used to be a church leader, he was more dynamic than McCain. McCain couldn't even stay in the race, so they picked somebody boring because they already had, you know, Obama picked out. So you look at Time Magazine 2 years ago, and there's Obama.
I didn't like Mitt, but you know what? I actually respected that he even ran.
Oh, I almost laid into Mitt. I said, and in fact, I did one video. I said, anybody that believes the Constitution, and here I'm like from a Mormon background, you'll vote for Ron Paul.
Oh no,
you're going Constitution. You can't go for Mitt Romney.
You're going to be outcast. I heard he had huge support in Utah.
He was 85%. George, can I take it off that? Is it okay?
No, take it, man.
Thanks,
I didn't even touch it.
So it's
kind of spicy.
It gets pretty. I'm into this stuff. Plus, this will kill.
No, I had reports coming in from the people that supported Mitt, and they were really upper middle class, upper class, the gentry. I mean, they're what controls Utah. These people were the ones backing Mitt. I mean, and they showed up in droves. I mean, they were organized.
Oh yeah.
They had money, and how much he spent in Iowa? My God, it was like he had rock concerts in Iowa compared to Ron Paul's thing. I mean,
Well, my family's indicative rent. We'll go to a MIT dinner, and each son gets $1,000 because they want to maximize.
Just like that.
So they get a table for like 5,000. If I was like back in the family, I'd be at that table.
Wow.
And they give 5,000 to MIT. We'd all be there for a MIT dinner for one night. And
I not met, but I was like this close watching his sons in Indian Wells when they came down here. And I watched and I observed them and I listened to them, and I got his agenda. They wanted to be the next Camelot. They want to be the next Camelot.
yeah.
They're all good-looking guys.
I know.
And I'm like, why the hell would they run for political office? They go, oh, they want to be the next JFKs. They want to be that, you know, political, financial, you know, they want to be that. They want to be accepted. It's just weird.
They were in my congregation. My wife would teach. Tad was the oldest, really good-looking guy. He's gained some weight.
Oh, really? They were all thin and good-looking guys, man. I was just like, what the heck are these guys doing? They want to be rock stars.
Well, they're see the whole conspiracy guys. And the conspiracy, that's why Godlike Productions, they're into the conspiracy.
Yeah.
Okay. You can, you know, this time we're going to spend together, I will be glad to share with you, 25 years of stuff, and as you want to know about it.
Wow, man.
Because it's true. It's real. I would debate the conspiracy with anybody on this effing planet. I would destroy them. Because I know it.
Give it to me in bite-sized pieces.
No, I know. But that's why I went to Harvard. It's part of it. God exists for sure. And it's going to be Christians. It's not going to be like the Mormons. I mean, the Mormons have a legend, okay, that they're going to save the Constitution. You okay?
We're doing great, thank you. Did you want something?
I'm like doing great.
Okay.
They have a legend. It's like goes way back. And so, I just cut to the chase. You're going to save the Constitution. You're going to vote for Ron Paul, period. Forget this Mitt Romney stuff. Mitt Romney is completely new world order. His Secretary of Defense was going to be, he was going to call the head of KBR or one of those, or Blackwater. He was going to have the head of Blackwater be a Secretary of Defense. I saw the paper. I thought, oh my gosh, he would have been way worse than anybody.
I knew Mitt Romney. I mean, I looked into his background at Bain Capital, and I was just like, this guy, there's nothing genuine about this guy. He changed his position so often, like he changed his underwear, and I was just like, this guy's just a political, he's just a corporate pawn, And when he got on the radio and he told everybody, there was an interview with him, and he said, you know what? I've spent this much money on this campaign. I don't plan on spending any more. I just go, what a cheap son of a gun. He doesn't even want to spend a couple $1 million on his own campaign for the presidency.
And when he stepped down, so McCain, that was really weird. They put in McCain because Romney might have had a chance of winning.
Oh, yeah. Why the heck did... I remember that. When he stepped down, we were all like...
All of a sudden,
what the heck? And I knew he was going to step down because he didn't want to lose. I mean, he's a businessman.
I think it's because, well, no, there's no question. I was thinking maybe Hillary, like some people were.
Yeah.
But Obama was the destined child. These guys, the Bilderbergers and all that stuff at Bohemian Grove and all, they pick them out. They pick them out. So they control both parties, so they can't stand a third party. But that's part of the movement that you and I are part of.
Yeah.
It's going to end up being a third party. And
I hope, man. Because Republicans are going like this. But we keep losing people. We don't know why. What's going on? I'm like, guys, I actually respect a lot of your principles, but the people you guys are electing are just,
Yes, John. Oh, right here.
We're good, thank you. I mean, they keep muscling out the third party. They keep doing, they keep destroying the Constitution.
That's the whole thing with the Constitution. Ron Paul was with it. He's been with it since the 70s. I mean, I've been a Ron Paul fan, definitely since the mid-80s.
So, okay, you're like almost libertarian then.